Hello, and welcome back to the Modeling Success in Action podcast. I'm your host, Jessica, and today I am joined by Dr. Bobby Parmar. Now, Dr. Parmar is a Vancouver-based naturopathic doctor passionate about using evidence-informed medicine to prevent and treat chronic health concerns. He co-founded Gravity Health and Mint Integrative, creating education-based clinics and advanced training platforms for clinicians in hormone prescribing and IV iron infusions. He also leads online educational initiatives like the Histamine Code and iron deficiency advocacy programs, while speaking nationally on women's health and progressive clinical care. Wow, what a mouthful. Welcome, Bobby.
Yeah, I do. Hi.
Yeah, this is a busy man. I'm feeling so honored that you're sitting down to have this conversation with me because, yeah, like we said there, you're running 3 different clinics, a couple here in the Lower Mainland, you're up in the Yukon, you're all over the place. So what keeps you like moving, like doing all these things? Like, what is it? What's that? What's the fire?
I think it's like a lot of people ask me this question, and I look to a lot of people as my inspirations and see what their answers are for this. And it's been resonating with me a lot lately, the whole idea of having impact. And
Mm.
I choose to have my life be impactful in the way that I'm currently living it. I like having clinics and I like having an online presence in both education and in like helping people understand what their options are for their health and then ultimately for their life. And I think most of that is informed by my, and we've talked about this before, my capacity is pretty big. Like I
Mhm.
feel right now in my life that I have a really big capacity to struggle. I use that expression a lot because I know a lot of people are like, are you not very stressed by all the things that are on your calendar, your agenda, the things that we see that you're up to? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think like if I am stressed because there's just not enough time, I would love for there to be more time, but there isn't. And that's just reality. But
Mm.
my capacity for like things to come at me and my capacity to have lots of things come at me simultaneously within a 24-hour period is pretty high. And I'm so grateful for that. Whatever allows for me to have that, I'm so grateful for because then it allows for me to have that impact because it just allows me to put more on my plate. And and this year, especially, like I'm really owning that I have that high capacity. And not that I think everybody should, but I think I should use this life that I have, the fortune of having lots of room for things to then use my life. And so that's really what's informing, at 45 years old now, it's informing so much of my choices. And 50 is around the corner. It's like 5 years away. And to me, that just feels like, oh, I got lots to do. So I want to do it.
Mhm. Yeah, you're like, the clock's ticking. Let's go.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I feel that very much. And I think that's not like I'm so old. I don't think I'm old. And it's not a mortality thing. It's just, oh, like I'm not a child and I'm not a teenager. I have 25 years of adult experience behind me. I want to use that. I want to use that. And like the first 20 years are trying to figure shit out. And then this last 20 years, everybody always says that whole Oprah thing of when you're in your 40s, it starts to click. And when you're in your 30s, you're just like, oh God, you guys are so old. And when you're in your 20s, you're just like, who cares about talking to 40-year-olds? Like you become kind of invisible. But we're the ones who have the experience and still like a lot of the connection between the people above us and the people below us in age to be able to like even bridge a lot of that. So I think it's a wonderful decade. It's just so great. So I just want to like use it up. I want to soak it up. I want to soak up my 40s. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I got
And
5 years left.
and like it's being in reality that like these certain stages of life, these certain like moments that we're in don't last forever. So like use it while you got it, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
Mhm.
I would like to feel like my days are spent people count their hours, they count their days, they count the seconds. They're like, oh, you have 2 billion seconds to live. And like today was 3,000 seconds. I don't know what the numbers are, but like the math. And you're like, the point is like, if you're given a long life, if you're that fortunate, I really want to use it for the way I'm using it. And I'm energized and amped to like do that. And so I think that's what's showing. I think that's what people are like seeing. Like the questions are, how do you have so much energy? How do you, how do you? And I'm like, I just do.
You're like,
I don't think I'm taking a secret, like, there's no little bag in my backpack, like where I sniff shit from that keeps me going. It's like life. I'm sniffing life.
I'm sure the naturopathic medicine helps, right? Like the fact that you live a life where you're like, paying attention to your body too is probably also helpful. Yeah.
Maybe, like
Maybe.
maybe, because then there's lots of people who like just exercise all the time, which I don't, and there's people who um eat really carefully and well all day long, and I don't. And like I last night had lovely shortbread.
Ooh.
It was lovely before bed, and that is not an exception. That was a lot. And I went to yoga yesterday. That was lovely, but I don't go every single day. And so I don't know. I don't want to come across as somebody who like lives this sort of natural wellness purist life, because I'm really far from that, actually. Really far from that. And I think that that's just human. And my goal isn't to live forever. I'm not part of this whole like Brian Johnson, live forever, be bionic. I'm just like, no, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Like,
It is a lot.
I don't actually have time for that work because I'm really busy doing the things that I believe are the
Yeah,
things I have as soul food. So like I'm busy.
I love
Like,
it. No,
I
I'm
don't have
busy
time to
on my
devote my whole
mission.
day. Yeah, I don't have time to devote my whole day to like pack smoothies. Like I don't, and like I don't have time to meal prep. Even that, like I don't. I'd rather just go get a salad or get something to eat from Turf or Tractor, like across the street. Like it's like much easier for me, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. So like, no, I don't. I'm not this like wellness person.
I love all the hand movements there.
Yeah, there's just, I'm really not. I'm really not.
I love it. It's interesting though, because you know what though? Wellness does look like all kinds of things, right? And so it's interesting to see you as somebody who is vibrant, has energy, is moving around all the time, does take time to understand what's happening with you, right?
Mm.
And so it's just kind of it's interesting to see. But I love, even circling back around to you saying that capacity for struggle. I have this poster in my office. Well, it's a whiteboard, and we've written a quote on it, and it says, "Life is gonna life on you. It's how you respond to it that
And-
makes all the difference," right? And so, in our last conversation, you were talking about like expecting things to happen in life. That capacity to
oh yeah.
handle the stuff that's coming at you. And so I'm curious if maybe that's the thing that's helping you be resilient to it, to have the energy instead of getting sucked in and going, ugh. Because a lot of people, when something bad happens, it levels them for a while.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for reminding me of that. I think that life is lifing thing for me is that's literally just life, and I'm no exception. I'm allowed to get cancer. I'm allowed to have a heart attack. I'm allowed to have diseases overcome this human body. I'm allowed to have mental illness. I'm allowed to be stressed and pressured. I'm expected actually to have some of those things, if not a lot of those things, because I'm a person. And I was given the things that I was given when I was born, um, biologically and genetically, and and then I live this life in this horrible world that like is constantly full of drama and strife and conflict and negativity and war and 500-year events. nonstop. That doesn't even make any sense. And yet, we are expected to live in this world and be like, none of that bothers my body, none of that bothers my mind, none of that bothers my spirit. We're supposed to be like resilient in the face of all of those things, like we pretend that they're not supposed to be or meant to be happening, or that I shouldn't be affected by them because they're not in my neighborhood or they're not in. No, this life is stressful. I accepted that a long time ago. And maybe it has to do with the fact that I'm queer. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I'm brown. Maybe I just know essentially what like suffering is. And I know what like oppression is. And I know what control is. And I know what conflict is. And I'm like, life offers you that every single day, every day. And for me to live is to know that that's part of my life. And that if it wasn't, I would actually be an ostrich with my head buried in the sand. That if I get diagnosed with a health concern tomorrow, I'll be like, okay, got it. That's life. Do I do things to prevent those kinds of things? Of course, to a limit. But if something does happen to me, which has happened to me, then I'm just like, okay, that's part of my life. Why not me? Why
Hmm.
wouldn't it have been me? Did the other person deserve to get that diagnosis? No. No more than I did, just because we're both human. Like I have like that built into my being that I'm not an exception. I am the rule here. And
Yeah.
so are you, and so is everybody else.
Right.
So once you accept that, maybe because things become a little bit easier to like swallow or just accept. We are less like afraid of those kinds of. Do I do blood work all the time, like multiple times a year, just to see what's happening? Yeah. Do I do all kinds of like, oh, that's a test I could do to understand what this body is doing and what lies beneath? Yes, because I'm not an ostrich in that way either.
Hmm. Yeah, you're paying attention to what is possible instead of, you know, it's interesting because you're on the opposite side of the coin, but it's the exact same messaging as like, people who are thinking that they're special, right? Like
Mhm.
when they think that they're somehow they're special, and then they get really upset when things aren't happening the way that they want them to. And so when you're really just able to level about ordinariness, humanness, like, yeah, I'm ordinary, I'm human, and it's awesome because that means great things can happen. That also means crappy things can happen, but it means that like I'm gonna get through it. It's gonna be okay,
I
right?
couldn't be more fucking ordinary.
Yes.
And that's wonderful.
It's fabulous to be
Wonderful.
ordinary. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, if you're special, then there's expectations, you got to keep your specialness up somehow. Oh my God, the pressure of that is crazy,
No
right?
thanks.
No,
No thanks. Like,
exactly.
what? No, I could lose my job tomorrow. I
Yeah.
could lose my house tomorrow. There could be some big flood that
Mhm.
takes out my entire apartment. What? Why couldn't it?
Yeah.
Why couldn't an earthquake happen that just changes my whole trajectory of my life?
Hmm.
Why couldn't it? So, like, no, I'm ordinary. I think we all are. And
Hmm.
that's a wonderful, beautiful thing that we don't have to have these like giant mountainous expectations that we won't live life, that
Yeah.
we won't life. It's wonderful to have, I think, a different attitude of thinking that we are special and that we're like unique and we should celebrate those kinds of things. That's different. I think there's two things there. One is we're like special, we're unique, we're wonderful, we should be ourselves, we should live our true, most authentic to ourselves lives. But we're not any more special than it. My blood is the same value as your blood. My skin has the same value as your skin. What made you any different? And that
Yeah.
helps also make people not better than other people. Like,
Hmm.
you're no better than me. And so you don't deserve anything better than I deserve. We deserve
Hmm.
the same because we
Hmm.
both live this life. So anytime, and I'm a bit of a I guess like a fighter that way. Like I fight people like online and I'll clap the fuck back because I'm like, who are you? Like,
Yeah.
Who are you? Who are you? Who told you that you are anything more than anybody else? Let's bring you down a bit.
Mhm. It's interesting too, though, because when we get down to that, like, deserving, like, no one deserves anything more than anyone else. It's kind of empowering because then you're like, okay, cool. If it's all open range, then like let's take action, right? Like
Totally.
let's go do something.
Totally. And
Hmm.
like, there's just so much, even now, there's so much like being fed to us that's not real, right? Like, there's a lot of like corporations and interests that are feeding in narratives to make people fight against each other, making them believe all kinds of like invented things that are making people think, oh yeah, you are right. And I think a lot of people feel like as long as they have somebody beneath them, that life isn't so bad, because look, somebody's still beneath them, but how do you make sure that somebody's beneath you? You you, you put your boot on their face. Like,
Yeah.
you literally try to make somebody lower than you. You make
Hmm.
gay people lower than you. You make, right now, trans people are like the everything of who is beneath everybody. Black trans women particularly. Like, everybody who like falls into this crazy trap, they don't realize they're in a trap. They just do not understand that you are actually in somebody else's like already prepared, already made, completely strategized plan of how to have you be a pawn.
Hmm.
You're a pawn. And a lot of people just don't realize that. And I think that too, if we just think like you're no different than me,
Yeah.
then how are you ever gonna ever come for somebody else because you think that their life is less than yours? You'll be like,
Yeah.
I can't think that because I think we're the same.
Yeah.
So then how, so I think we need to like come for those people all the time, because we can't let them win. We can't let them have the loudest voice in the room. We can't let them go unclapped. We have to really defend, because it's not real. Like, none of this is real. It's all just fabricated. It's all
Hmm.
it's all people wanting this kind of thing to continue. And because we're human and it happens since the beginning of time,
Hmm.
it works because
Yeah.
we're all so still tribal in that way.
Right. Well, unfortunately, right, like that ostrich thing you were describing is human nature, right? Like that's one of the stances that we take when we're trying to cope with life is we stick our head in the sand. We distract ourselves, we ignore it, we look the other way, right? If we're not doing that, we're blaming other people or we're thinking in our head or we're trying to like placate our way out of it. Like we have these things that we go to make us feel better, but they don't ever solve the problems.
No, have they ever?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
And we're insane to think
yes.
that they would. And all we're doing is like self-preserving, self-protecting, and just making sure like I've got mine. And you're like, oh, okay, that just sort of lends itself back to this whole original problem. Like, we're meant to escape that, but it's part of our nature as animals, right? Like, we're animals, and animalistic things that we feel and that we get trapped by all the time. And but we have these crazy introspective, thoughtful brains that are constantly like trying to escape the animalism. It's like constantly trying to just be
Mhm.
like, I'm not a lizard. I am not a lizard. Why
Yeah.
do I have reptilian tendencies? And it's like, because we're animals. And
Mhm.
and that we just are have this dichotomy there of having the awareness of our animalisms, which is wild. Like, I have dogs, I have two dogs, and I look at them every day. I'm just like, you guys are so sweet and innocent and just wonderful beings. But you never have to think about any of that. Like, you never have to think about anything. You're just you just exist, and you
Yeah.
love and you care and about the things you care about, but you don't have to think about yourself and your place in the world. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we do.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, it's this interesting human condition, right?
Mm,
Of having the capacity to know that like our emotions are dictating what's happening with us, right? But we think that it's really our logic because it's this it's the animal that drives us, but
man.
then this brain thing tricks us into believing that somehow like we we're making logical choices about it, right?
Yeah,
And
no, it's such a Like we get stuck in that all the time, and then we journal, and then we meditate, and then we
And
try
we ruin and we sit and we do this and this and this and this. Okay, so you have your head out of the sand. You're leveling with yourself about your ordinariness, your
trying,
humanness.
trying.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it's I mean, there is no arriving,
Yeah,
right? There
yeah.
is no arriving.
No,
It's that's
this
the
is
beauty of being human, right?
where is the destination? There
Yeah.
is no stop. Like
No.
that's another thing. It'll
Yeah.
never end
Yeah.
until it ends.
Mhm.
So if we know that we know it's never end,
Mhm. Just do it now.
just do it, or don't.
Right? Yeah.
Like let other people do their shit.
Yeah. Mhm. I had a client the other day who was in for a screening and, he's going, I have been whatever his thing was, he's been dealing with it for like 20 years, right? He's like, my whole adult life, it's been like this. And I'm like, okay. And we're talking about, what needs to happen and building him a program. And I'm going, okay, cool. So like, when do you want to book your first session? And he goes, well, I've got XYZ coming up at the beginning of January. Then I've got, ABC in the middle of January. So maybe we should wait till February. I'm
Well,
like, yeah, you could kick the can down the road a little more if you wanted to,
right,
right?
and
You could wait and wait and wait another 20 years if you really wanted to. But like, it's not like there's not going to be another 20 things that pop up in February, right? Like there's always something. Life is always happening. So we just need to decide what, what's worth it and take action on that thing.
yeah, that's how I met. No, that's not how I met you. That's how I met you, sort of like in this professional setting of me learning that you do hypnosis to help people through fears. And like, I can be the most aware person and I can still be afraid of all kinds of things. And I
Mhm.
was like, there's this stupid fear that's like preventing me from doing very simple things in my life. Like, I moved across a bridge from where I work.
Mhm.
And so I was driving to work and I was like, but I'm literally just a walk across a bridge. And I had a fear of heights
Mhm.
and like just horrible fear of heights. Who knows where that comes from? Some kind of reptilian something. And and then I was like, okay, maybe I'll try you out to understand if there's something that can shift there. And 3 sessions after, girl, I was walking across that bridge no problem. Like I was
Mhm.
just skipping across normally something that would make me shiver, tremble in like just a panic of a feeling. And now I haven't looked back once since. And it is wonderful. What a liberating feeling that like there's ways of trying to like overcome these fears. And then that kind of like also lends itself to then being like, oh, I mean, if I can get over that, what else can't I get over?
Yeah. Like, is anything possible? Right?
Anything is possible. Like anything is possible if we make time for it, if it's a
Mhm.
priority,
Mhm.
if we like shift other things to make it that way, if we want it. And
Yeah.
sometimes we want it but we're not ready for it, and sometimes we're we are ready for it and we want it, and then it sort of clicks, and then February
Yeah.
becomes this week kind of thing.
Yeah, right. When you decide,
Yeah,
basically that's the factor, right? It needs to become a decision rather than a debate or a wish, right? It just needs to be a decision.
totally.
Yeah.
And I think that we all need to like just be asked the question and then let ourselves answer, with no like feeling of somebody controlling us or forcing us or like making us do something. It is, here's the question, just have it in your ear. And sometimes that means it'll be 2 years later. And that is okay. It's
Yeah.
totally okay. And sometimes it'll mean it'll never happen. That is also okay. It's just it when you are confronted, I guess, with that, you have a
Mhm.
decision. And either you are like, oh my God, it clicks now, or it
Mhm.
doesn't click now. And then maybe life will offer you that question again at some point in the future, and then you'll
Yeah.
be ready then. Who knows?
Mhm. And it's usually when it's a big enough deal, right? When emotionally or, in your life it's becoming so big that you can't put your head in the sand anymore.
Yeah, I think definitely life offers us
Right?
those. I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's like there's a plan or anything, but like coincidences happen and they don't happen where you're just like, "Why did life give me that now? How ironic that
Mhm.
I'm getting this, like, message now in this setting, huh, I wonder
Yeah.
if I should take stock, reflect, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I think it's nonstop. It's just
Yeah.
that it just happens. Stuff is happening nonstop. That of course there's going to be things that collide at a certain coincidental time. Like life is so full that way, and I think it's wonderful that way too.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, this has been such an awesome conversation. I'm so glad that you said yes to this because I know that you're into saying yes to things and you're going
Yeah.
with it and making time for it. So before we wrap this up, is there anything you want to leave the listeners with about your model of the world and how you've been navigating it?
Yeah, I love that. I love the yes, the say yes to things. I love who knows. Life is such a wonderful, um, like just mixed bag of all kinds of things. And if we're like looking for opportunity and we're looking for connection and we're looking for just wonderful conversation and who knows where that goes. That's why it's like I think yes is such a lovely thing. I think we're in a very much of a no culture. Like we're in a very like don't talk to me. Why is this person coming up to me? Who is this person? And I think ultimately we feel unsafe, which
Yeah.
is a tragedy. But I think my shift has been to say yes to more things in my capacity. And I think it's a beautiful thing to say yes. So I would love to end on that word. Yes.
Yes. Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Bobby, and thanks for listening and have a wonderful day.
Bye.